This weekend I did my first triathlon. It was a sprint triathlon in the Lake District. That was amazing. Here are my times. My time overall, 1 hour 45, which seems kind of slow, but it was my first one, so whatever. I learned a lot about it, which I wouldn't necessarily have learned had I not done a triathlon, which is useful going forward, and this is useful if you are thinking of doing a triathlon. Here's a few things that I think I realised on the day that I didn't learn beforehand. Nice. Number one is that the training you do beforehand really affects and really reflects how you will perform on the day. For example, I came from a running background. I've been running endurance running for properly for a year now. I played football all my life as well, so my running base is really good. I cycled a lot throughout my life too. But it was the swimming training that I was most apprehensive about, and the swim on the day was the thing I was most apprehensive about. I did loads of swim training, swim technique, swimming endurance sessions, pool sessions, open water sessions, and that really paid off on the day. I was very happy with my swim. I did roughly a 2 minute per 100 meter pace, which was great. I've been happy to do a 2:30 per 100 meter pace, with it being my first race. But the fact that I put so much effort in the training for the swimming really paid off on the day. My swim was great. My bike, not so much. I didn't really do much bike training. I've rode mountain bikes, gravel bikes all my life, and I thought that I'd be fine. I kind of really overlooked the bike training. I did one 50k ride, and I've cycled around Manchester a couple times, but I've not really done any of the dedicated training on the bike like I did with the swim. For running, I should also say that I am training for Chester Marathon on the 5th of October, so I've been doing loads of running sessions, such as the track, such as long runs, speed runs, tempo sessions, easy runs, so I've been doing loads of running, so I was super happy with the running volume that I'd done. It was the swimming training that really paid off, and it was the lack of bike training that really I thought showed on the day too. Number two is if you are going to take triathlon seriously, you need an appropriate bike. I did the triathlon on my gravel bike. Here it is, which is a great bike, but it is definitely not ideal for road racing triathlon. The tyres are kind of thick. It's relatively heavy compared to some of the other bikes that a lot of people are riding on. There were loads of people there on the day using whatever bike they had, mountain bikes that seem like commuter bikes. But those people turn up and doing it, which is great to see. So if you want to do a triathlon, you can do it on any bike that you have access to. But I think if you're serious about your times, you need a specific road bike, like thin tyres, a really light bike, something that's specific to that sport. There were lots of people there on $5,000 super bikes as well, with like carbon fiber, electronic gear shifting. But I think that if you're serious about the time, on the biking part, the equipment really will pay off. Where in like the swim and the run, it's more technique and training base. I guess shoes as well for your swim, and for the wetsuit. Specifically for the bike, the equipment is such a big part of it. Number three is that it's hard to say how you're going to feel coming out of each transition. Like I said, I was super happy with my swim, but as soon as I finished the swim, I could have gone longer in the swim. I was super happy with how I was performing, but as soon as I came out, as soon as I started walking, my legs felt like jelly. I was struggling to catch my breath, because you do your swim training and you stop at the end of the pool, you have a bit of water, you catch your breath no matter what distance you've done, you don't immediately start running again, which I think the triathlon specific training sessions would have really helped. I should have done more of them. Yeah, I came out of the lake, my legs felt like jelly, I was struggling to catch my breath, and I was straight away into a run, trying to take off my wetsuit, take off my goggles, take off my swimming cap, into my transitions. I was happy with my transitions, happy how fast they were. How I then fell on the bike, my legs felt like jelly, I was struggling to catch my breath, I just ran from the transition as well. It took a couple of kilometres on the bike to get used to that again, to get used to a different discipline. I felt way more tired than I usually would cycling 2k, but it took a while to get into it, and then when I got into it, the cycle did feel hard. I should have done more training. And it was the same thing coming from the cycle to the run. Again, happy with my second transition. But going from the cycle, my legs, they felt weak. I was running and I looked at my pace and I was like, wow, this is slow for the amount of effort that I was putting in. And again, it was around 2k in the run where it took me a while to really get down to a good pace, feel normal again. The second 2k was all incline, and the last 2k I could really push it. I felt pretty good towards the end of the race, but how you feel from each stage, starting each stage, is a big part of it. You only really learn that if you do the transitions themselves. Number four is that I love doing it. I probably suit the sport of triathlon. I'm now really strong swimmer. I'm a runner. I come from a running background, and I really enjoyed the time on the bike. So I think that if I wanted to progress in an endurance sport, I think triathlon is probably the way that I'm going to go. It seems like I could get the best use out of myself. As much as I love running and love marathons and half marathons, I don't feel like the speed marathon part of it is something that I'm really going to be able to commit time to, but more endurance-based events like Ironmans, triathlons, though I do want to get into ultra trail running, I think they were the ones that I'll perform the best in. Cool, so they were the 4 things that I learned from doing my first triathlon. Hope that was helpful. I'm going to go and do a track workout on my birthday. It is my birthday. Yes, I'm that guy. Cool, this lovely track, which smells great. The track smells so good. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go run.